Good day, ma'am and sir. Good day to our panelists, personnel, and to our advisor. So I am Lizelle Jane Augusto with my group mates, Daryl Dutolyu. We are the group Z3033 and we're here to defend our outline defense proposal with entitled BPE Students in Online Learning, a Qualitative Study. So, the introduction of this study, the coronavirus has a wide range of effect on business and individuals. So, many obstacles have confronted me as a college student. So, face-to-face classes are banned from my skills-based course. So, it's difficult for me, and our country has never had an online class set up. So, in an online classroom, not everyone is equipped with the necessary technology, resources, and skills to succeed. Even now, educators as well as the students are still refining their approaches in order to achieve a better outcomes. The COVID-19 prevented South Korean students from returning to school. As a result, physical education classes were moved online by the university community. So the students and educators in this field are well aware of the obstacle that still exists in the way. So the students' lack of resources and educational content is a major hindrance to their ability to learn effectively. Secondly, the teachers' lack of expertise in managing online physical courses makes it difficult to maximize time effectively. Now, finally, the KMS limited evaluation guidelines make it impossible to conduct a systematic assessment, according to Jiong and Su 2020. After COVID-19, distance education or DE was already a popular option in the University of the Philippines. Now, open and distance learning was coined as a result of technological advancement. Now, the training teachers to be proficient in content development, technology-related skills, and teaching strategies is emphasized in this study. Now, both students and teachers benefit from these methods of learning according to Arinto 2016. So, many quantitative studies have been done in relation to this topic, and one that uses a qualitative approach or studies in a local government has not been found to date. Now, research gaps are established in the study as a result of this. Now, here are the following questions to be answered by the participants. So, first, what are the lived experiences of BPE students in online learning in Tagum College? And second, how do the PPE students cope with the challenges they experience in online learning? And the third one, what are the insights of BPE students in Tagum College in online learning? And for the theoretical lens, physical education course differs from others since it is a combination of both general knowledge and skills. To ensure that students are capable of performing these skills, they have to execute it under a performance standards. In an online learning setting, physical education classes have to undergo preparations and practices to make sure learning will not be in vain. Now, there are several proponents that talk about theories of learning which are related in the current class medium brought to us by the global pandemic. Now, even with students' ability to adapt to online learning system, they still prefer normal classroom settings. Here, under under online learning is considered ineffective by gauging to the theory of Vygotsky for 1962, which is the social constructivism. Now, this implies the term zone of proximal development or ZPD, from which teachers and learners exist together to solve problems in an unified space. So the teachers are considered facilitator of the social environment in which learners, along with other learners, can construct or make knowledge. So in an constructivist sense, learners have to be active participants instead of being passive, as evidenced in online classes. Now, in addition, another theory talks about the fact that factors that could affect positively or negatively on learners' performance. In online class medium, students have different environments, which mean that they differ on learning resources and environment. Now, in the theory of Herbert J. Welberg in 1981, which is educational productivity, he emphasized the crucial role of educational resources, the classroom climate and home environment among learners' performance. So, as students may have sufficient or insufficient resources, encouraging or discouraging classroom climate and home environment. Now, there are performance would vary from one another. Some can be more performing compared to others. Conversely, a theory explains the role of one's self-judgment to his or her performance. So according to Albert Bandura 1981, self-efficacy theory, a student thinks himself on the following dimension: magnitude, which refers to the level of difficulty of a certain task; strength, which talks about how one believes he or she can attain a specific task; and generality, which refers to someone's belief that his or her learning are applicable to daily life. In online class learning, one can be either successful or not, depending on his self-efficacy. Now, the preceding theories cited above consider the factors that could affect learners' performance on an online class settings. The researchers utilize these theories to relate to BPE students' experiences. From here, this study is anchored to multiple theories. And for the participants, purposive sampling will be the sampling strategy employed in this study. Phenomenological studies employ this method. It will determine who will be the most relevant to the research question. Now, students enrolled in the University of Mindanao Tagum College Bachelor of Physical Education program will be selected as participants in this study. They will be selected because they are still getting used to the course and the university. Now, 7 students participate in an in-depth interview and 7 students participate in a focus group discussion.
For materials and instruments, this study will make use to modify research material. The 3 main questions will modify from many qualitative research, only that the terms and construct will change based on the study. Each question will specify using 3 sub-questions. This will enable us to gather more specific responses with specific questions and clear instructions. The participants will be able to answer the question as they were told. Finally, detailed field notes, recording devices, and manual transcriptions were utilized during the conduct of this study. Researchers will modify the data that will be used in the study. According to many qualitative studies, the three main questions there will be modified, but the terms and concepts will be adapted for the study to reflect the findings. There are three sub-questions for each of the three questions that will be asked. With more specific responses in hand, we will go on hand. All of the participants will be able to follow along with the instruction because they will be given very specific questions to answer. This research will be completed with the help of detailed field notes, recording devices, and manual transcription. The qualitative phenomenological method will be employed in this investigation, often used to study the experience of a specific group of people who practice the same things. This is good idea when studying things that cannot be tested experimentally or when data is not measured in the terms of intensity, frequency, amount, and quantity. There will be methods used in the study. Those will be in-depth interviews and focus group discussions. Distancing and sanitation protocols will be adhered to in accordance with strict IATF protocol. A step-by-step process is required when gathering data. In order to get the data that we need for our research, we follow this step. To begin, we will double-check that we understand everything we are studying, determine our goals, and the steps necessary to achieve them. We will make sure that we will have everything we need to ensure a smooth joining. Second, we will seek permission from the deans and office to conduct the study. We will send a second letter to the BPE program head in order to get permission to conduct in-depth interviews and focus group with a small number of BPE students. Just a few minutes after having this, we will hand out the letters and formally ask each participants to participate in the interview and discussion. So we get our phone, audio recorder, and hard copies of the questionnaires and get everything ready to go. After that, we will go over the specifics of how the in-depth interviews and discussions would go. We will use an audio recorder and a cell phone to get the response. The response will be typed up, analyzed, and results will be prepared for presentation and discussion.
So that's all. Thank you for listening, Ma'am Answer. Thank you to our teacher, to our advisor, our research personnel, and panelists. Thank you, and God bless us all.